Now, this is gonna be my second time to be back here. The last time I was here was how many years ago? 2 years ago. Can you imagine that? Grabe. Ang bilis po ng oras. Do you agree with me? Ngayon, how many among you are listening to me and watching me for the first time? Taas ang kamay. Alam mo ang speaker natin, may kamukha siyang singer. Don't say that. Oo, kita mo, lumalabas na. Kaya sabi ko sa iyo, hindi ko kamukha siya to. Listen guys, look at that screen. Let's show them the slide. That's me, alright? Memorize the detail. That's me, okay? Now, let's take a look at the picture of Jo Marichan. Next one. Malayo eh. Malayo. Now, what happens when you take a look at the two of us together? Next slide, please. Malayo. Kaya lang yung mga bata, sabi nila, hindi, yung isang singer ang kamukha niya. Look at my picture again. Next slide. Memorize that one, alright? Memorize that one. Here now is the picture of that other singer. Si Richard, malayo eh. Malayo. Ano ang itsura kami dalawa kapag kami dalawa pinagsama? Let's show them the next slide. See? No. How many among you know Photoshop? Taas ang kamay. Okay. So I was wondering, gamitin natin ng utak natin, ano kaya ang magiging itsura ko kung pagsasama-samahin natin silang tatlo? What's gonna happen to me? How am I gonna look if you're gonna, put all three faces together? Let's let them review the next slide. There's gonna be Richard, me, and Joe. Alam mo, pag pinagsama kaming tatlo, ito magiging itsura ko. Show them, please. There you go. I told you. Thank you. Tama na yan. Thank you. Puro tayo kalokohan. But first of all, I want to thank you for inviting me back. And si Tito ni napaka-persistent and napaka-tiyaga sa Tagalog. Makulit po yan. And he has been communicating me with email, inviting me back. And you guys have to know this. It is very difficult for me to come here because I suffer from motion discomfort. And for me to have land I would rather travel 14 hours to New York rather than to travel 2 hours by land. And nakalimutan ko kasi, ang akala ko from Tacloban coming here, it's only 30 minutes. At ang akala ko, yung daan, diretso lang. Kaya kanina nasa kotse, buti na lang antok ako. Pag-gising ko, umiikot na naman, and then I realized, but you know what? Everything is compensated when I get here. Lahat ng problema nawala. And then, dinala po kami for breakfast this morning, and everything is wrong about this place. I miss the pollution, I miss the traffic and the noise. Saka yung pagkain nyo may problema. Masarap eh. Before I continue, please allow me to introduce to you the one and only love of my life. Sa Pilipinas lang nangyayari yan kapag pinag-usapan yung love, maraming sound effect. My one and only wife, Lilia, can you please stand up so people can hear you? She wasn't with me the last time. Now this is her first time. She loves the place. And, she grew up in a similar environment. Kaya habang tinitignan niya yung mga punong kahoy, the trees, she recognizes all the trees. Alam niya ko na for me, all the trees look the same. Everything I planted died. I always introduce Lilia as my one and only treasure. And treasurer as well. I got a question for you. What is the significance of last month? February is what? What is the most significant day within February? 14. What does 14 stands for? Valentine. Girls, let me ask you a question. How many among you were not able to receive flowers? Raise up your hand. Next question. How many among you ladies were able to receive flowers? Raise up your hand. Next question. How many among you ladies sent flowers to yourself? I spent Valentine's Day very sweetly with my one and only love. Yeah, in a seminar. While I was speaking to 900 students who passed the medicine auditorium in UST. Nakalimutan ko ang UST is located very, very near Dangwa, where the flowers would land. So I was stuck for 40 minutes, and I was late. I was late for my talk for about 20 minutes. And then while we were stuck right there in front of the UST gate, I saw a lot of boys and a lot of men bringing flowers all over the place. I saw a lot of pretty girls with big bouquet. Yung mga magaganda, lalaki ng bouquet. Oh, yung mga hindi magaganda, wala. I don't know why. Question. If you were not able to receive flowers and you feel bad about it, there's something seriously wrong with you. You do not get your worth, your joy, and your fulfillment from flowers. Here's my problem. Yung mga lalaking puporma-porma, maraming dalang bulaklak, ang unang pumasok sa isip ko, kayo'y nag-aaral, saan galing yung perang pambili ng mga bulaklak nyo? Kanino nang galing yan? Sa magulang. So, kayo nanliligaw kayo, pero yung magulang mo ang nangangapital? It doesn't make sense, does it? So, the love word is greatly misunderstood. Hindi naintindihan ng Pinoy kung ano yung love. What is love? Love is blind, stupid. Would you like me to teach you what love is? Yes. Love is wishing the best, doing the best, serving the best, giving the best to the object of your love. Let me repeat that. Love is wishing the best, doing the best, serving the best, giving the best to the object of your love. That's why we don't know what love is. That's the reason why you should never say, I love my chocolate cake. Kakainin mo eh. You want to consume it. That's not love. That's the reason why when a loser boy says, if you love me, go to bed with me. That's not love. He wants to consume you. You understand? Would you like that to be our topic for today? Never in any of my seminars will I ever tell my audiences, please have an open mind. I don't want you to have an open mind. Because if your minds are too open, your brains will fall out. I want you to think critically. The problem in our country is that people are not thinking critically. When people do not think, what happens? They mimic, they copy. Cliches are mistaken for nuggets of wisdom. Slogans now become philosophies in life. That's why Filipinos are idle, tamad, ayaw mag-aral, ayaw magbasa, ayaw mag-isip, gaya lang ng gaya. And then the problem is, sana yung mabubuti ang ginagaya. Usually it's the basura that they are imitating. Mabuti pa nga yung mga Koreano sa mga Hapon eh. Hirap na hirap sila sa English. Before they understand something, it has to be interpreted. Ang problema ng Pinoy, wala na tayong filtering system eh. When we watch movies, when we watch television, kung ano yung sinasabi at kinikilos diretso na sa utak at hindi natin kinokopya yung magaganda, ang kinokopya natin lagi yung mga basura. I'll give you one example. SHIT, di ba? You understand what I'm saying? Nakikita ko yung mga bata nagmumura, FUCKU. Una sa lahat, hindi bagay sa'yo, pandak ka eh. Pangalawa, Pinoy ka, ano bang nangyayari sa'yo? No matter how good our command of the English language is, you and I are kayumanggi, hindi tayo Amerikano. Remember that. Never forget. That is the reason why. Let me share with you a couple of stories. I went on a tour and I gave seminars to our overseas Filipino workers. And I'll never forget what I learned in Paris. I went there thinking that I would be there to teach them lessons. I left the place being taught by them. Number one, their lives are not easy. Do you know that it is not unusual for Filipinos to clean as many as 10, 12, 14 houses in a day? They don't work for one employer just like their Hong Kong counterparts. They work and charge by the hour. Living quarters, 15 square meters. I mean, my pwesto in SM was many times bigger than theirs. Display lang naman yan ng aking produkto nung araw. Do you know how they take a bath? They'll get a plastic palanggana and then they'll stay in the middle and then they bring their tabo. And by the way, wherever Filipinos are, they bring their tabo with them. And then they will slowly and carefully pour water from the top of their head until it reaches the sole of their feet, and being careful not to spill a drop of water on the floor, because if it does, their French employer might give them hell. Many of our young, attractive Filipina workers have been raped, molested, and abused. Some of them filed charges against their employers. They won, but most of them prefer to remain silent because they don't have working papers. Their lives are not easy. But when they get together, they are genuinely happy. That's very strange. One perspective I want you to understand it is this: huwag kang matakot sa adversity. Adversity and challenges and difficulties somehow strengthens us, produces the best out of us, depende naman, syempre, on how you respond. Adversity does not cause weariness. You know what causes weariness? Pleasure does. Today's pleasure is boredom for tomorrow. That's why there are so many losers who will jump from one bed to another, try different experiments, snuff it in, inject it in, pop it in. And then one new experience. Today is a novelty, tomorrow it wears off. Do not be afraid of challenges, adversities, and difficulties, because those are meant to make us stronger. The next thing I learned from them is this. When they are together, they are genuinely happy. They can wait to listen to what I have to share with them. I have clients from the top 100 corporations in the Philippines. Yung one-day conference lamang sa Manila will cost them 10 million pesos. It's a Steven Spielberg production thing. Dadaling ngayon yung mga executives nila sa Boracay, they'll have them booked into Shangri-La or Discovery Shores. Laki-laki ng ginagastos, pero yung mga tao doon jaded na eh. Sanay na sila sa mga seminars. Habang sila ay nakikinig sa akin, ang utak nila, hindi pa matatapos yan, magsuswimming pa kami. The benefits are there, but they don't enjoy it. The third thing I've learned from them is this. All of them genuinely love their country. Every single one of them will say, sana naman ayusin nila yung pamamalakad ng ating bansa because kahit malaking kinikita namin, there's no place like home. Oh, so unlike many Filipinos I know. Pupunta sa Amerika, will stay there for about 3 years. Pagbalik, hindi na marunong managalog. Balug-balugtod naman yung English. Somebody says, one guy who is living in the outskirts of General Santos City got a green card, went to America, stayed there for 5 years. By the time he came back, hindi lamang sa hindi na marunong managalog, pati yung pangalan niya, pinalitan na niya. Nung hindi pa raw siya umaalis, ang pangalan niya ay Restituto Bruto. Pagbalik niya, tutti-frutti na raw siya. Si Leon Manggubat, pagbalik niya, Tiger Woods. Ang labo na. Si Maria Natividad, pagbalik niya, Merry Christmas. Medyo malayo na. Ang taong hindi marunong magmahal sa sariling wika ay nagtatrabaho sa call center. Raise up your right hand. Everybody raise up your right hand. Good, good. Top the shoulder person to your right. Look at that person and say, mahalin mo ang iyong bansa. Raise up your left hand. Top the shoulder person to your left. Look at that person and say, magbagong buhay ka na. Every year, I bring my family outside the country. We spend Christmas and holidays outside. Doon ako bumabawi. That's why my children will never accuse me of not giving them time. I know how to make up time with them. Before I left last December, the whole country was going gaga. I don't mean Lady Gaga. The whole country was going crazy over wanting to win the first prize in the lotto. How much was the first prize? Yun, tama si Toto. Yung mga sumasagot ng ganyan, bumibili ng ticket ng araw-araw. Let me ask you a question. If you happen to be the sole winner of the huge purse ever in the history of Philippine lottery business, if you happen to be the balikbayan in Subic and you bought that ticket and then you won, here now is my question. What are you going to do with the money? The budget is not enough. What are you going to do with the money? I'm not kidding. Have you ever thought about it? What are you going to do with the money? Expand the school. Here are the typical answers I would get from my participants. One person says, I'll help the poor. Is that good or bad? Another one says, I'm going to give to charity. Good or bad? Another one says, I will give 10% to the church. Is that good or bad? Good. Anong tawag doon? Tithes. Another one says, I'm going to give 50% to the church. Is that good or bad? One businessman listening, he says, I'll buy the church. Good business, eh? Everybody's giving it. Here now is my question. Are you really helping the poor by giving them money? That's why the Philippines has become a country of dole-outs. Ang feeling ng tao, dahil mayaman ka o mahirap, obligado kang bigyan ako ng pera. That's not gonna work. Unless we remove ourselves from that thinking, we will never rise out of poverty. Pag nakikita mo sa telebisyon, kami mga mahihirap. The question is, bakit ka mahirap? Abraham Lincoln did not say. Abraham Lincoln said this: you cannot make the poor people rich by making the rich people poor. They tried it. It was a failed experiment. Starts with letter C. It's called communism. It didn't work. Study history. Right after the Second World War, when the Allied forces plummeted Germany to the ground, East belongs to the communists, West belongs to the Allied forces, there was what was called the Marshall Plan. What was that? Every single citizen of West Germany was given an equal $50 during those times. It was a lot of money. That is the closest to being equitable ever. Yun ang pinakamalapit na pantay-pantay ang bawat isa na nabigyan ng $50. In just 3 to 5 years, the same 3% richest of Germany regained their wealth. And the same poor people remain poor. There are skills and ability in the creation of wealth. If you don't have that skill, you will not be wealthy. It's as simple as that. I understand you just had your business plans awarding. Sino yung mga nanalo dyan? Taas ang kamay. Well, congratulations. Everything needs a plan. If you don't set out any plan, any road will get you there. And you'll be clueless to where you are. Now, before answering my question, what are you going to do with the money? You first have to do your homework. Research. Anong nangyari doon sa mga past winners ng ating Lotto Prize? Vicky Morales of GMA came up with a documentary featuring the past Filipino prize winners. One guy won 80 million pesos, bought a beautiful house, helped the poor. Today, I'm happy to inform you that he's still living in that house pero walang kuryente. Dahil hindi kayang bayaran. Satsat sa utang. Another one was kidnapped, another one was killed. Many of them became more miserable after winning the prize. Study the lives of the Lotto winners in America. Almost all of them became losers. Their lives became more miserable compared to the days before they won. I'm going to tell you the reason why. Would you like to know why? If I ask you, would you like to know why? Your response is why. Would you like to know why? I'll tell you why. Here you are. Here is the prize. There you are. Here is the success. From here to there. That Lotto ticket instantaneously propels me from where we are and with the trajectory of landing over this place. Are you tracking me? Meanwhile, you and I, every day, we wake up in the morning, we labor and we toil and we work. Trabaho tayo, haharapin natin yung mga kaklase natin, mga buwisit. Gagawa tayo ng mga homework na pinahirapan tayo ng mga props. Haharap tayo sa mga terror. Yung mga nagtatrabaho, haharap sa memorandum. Haharap din sila sa kanilang mga boss na asumot. Meanwhile, while you are doing all of that, you know what's happening to you? You are already winning. Because you are facing adversity, you are networking with people, you are going through the pains, you are gaining wisdom, you are getting experiences. You may not be able to land at 730 plus million, but you are already winning beyond that. Because with or without crisis in life, you now have the foundation for survival and for success. Meanwhile, the guy who won the lotto ticket, he is here. Success, money, prosperity is a heavy responsibility to bear. You gotta have the skills to be able to handle that. Here now is the principle. Are you ready for this? Eto na. From here to there, here's the principle. The process is more important than the success. Let me repeat that. The process is more important than the success. Say that after me. The process. I-apply natin. Ang hirap mag-aral, may test. Cheating na lang ako. Nilagpasan mo yung process. Gusto ko yumaman, pero mandaya na lang ako. Nilagpasan mo ulit yung process. Mahal ko siya. Dadalhin ko na lang sa kama. Nilagpasan mo yung process. Are you getting it? It's the same principle everywhere. It's the same principle everywhere. Listen, everybody wanted the glory of the resurrection. Jesus had to go through the crucifixion. Everything is a process. There's no such thing as shortcut to success. Pero yun yung utak ng Pinoy. Laging nag-iisip ng shortcut. Laging nag-iisip ng cutting corners. May I borrow a piece of paper? Anybody has a piece of paper, please? Here you go. Thank you. Thank you. This is okay. How many corners do I have on this piece of paper? 4. If I cut off one corner, how many corners will I have left? Sino mahina sa math dito? Ulit. How many corners do I have left? If I cut off another corner, how many corners will I have left? The more corners you cut, the more damage you will inflict on yourself, the more repair work you gotta do on yourself. That will delay your progress. Does that make sense to you? You don't believe me? Ask those guys who have begun buying houses in America and are now under congressional investigation. For the life of me, I can't understand why you need so many houses. You can only live in one. Because yung process ng pagtsatsaga, paghihirap, pagpapawis doon sa iyong ginagawa, na-bypass mo eh. Madali eh. Those are the perspective we're going to be talking about today. Are you learning something now? Do you know that nasa introduction pa lang ako, di pa ako tapos? Your perspective defines your worldview. Your worldview defines your belief system. Your belief system determines your thoughts. Your thoughts translate into words. Words become actions. Repeated actions become habits. Habits form character. And character determines destiny. It has always been that way. Did you notice? Process pa rin. Walang shortcut to success. Complete the equation. No guts. No pain. No retreat. No ID. You got it. You and I are living in a world wherein change is happening so fast it's not funny anymore. Look at the major industries. How many among you are business students? Taas ang kamay. Okay. Now, whether you like it or not, wala naman ako sa business. Business encompasses everything, whether you like it or not. You may be in medicine, you may be in agriculture, ang foundation ng business pa rin. Kaya pansinin mo, anong nangyayari ngayon sa Middle East? Business ang tinatamaan. Fuel prices go up, demand supply come into play again, everything revolves around business. What's happening now? Number one, music industry. Ito yung mga troubled industries. Tower Records closed. Number two, newspaper industry. Do you know that newspaper subscriptions are going down? Because the young people are no longer getting their news from the newspaper. So where do they get their news from? Internet. Tignan mo nga naman ng buhay. Kung kailan ako naging columnist, bumabaksak ang subscription. Next, advertising industry. Events and social network marketing are now taking over their place. Events. Yung traditional advertising has become so costly. In fact, today, when you spend a lot of money in your advertising campaign, I hope in your business plans, hindi nakaalat ng malaking pera sa advertising traditional way because it doesn't work anymore. Using traditional advertising is like using a shotgun to kill a mosquito. You spend a lot of resources wasted. Social network marketing now pinpoints exactly your targeted audience. Let me ask you a question. Sino sa inyo nasa Facebook? Taas ang kamay. Sino sa inyo nasa Friendster pa rin? Jologs na yan. Jologs. When I have my blog site, when I post an article, I have to wait maybe about 2 weeks to reach a critical mass of 1,500. Today, when I post an article in Facebook, automatically I reach out to 30+ thousand. Please don't invite me to be your friends in Facebook. My friends page is already full. They cannot accept anymore. However, I have 2 other pages called like pages. And you can still be there if you want to get a regular delivery of my article every week. I came from an industry that used to be the talk of the town. I came from the garments industry. That's the reason why I know Joe Marichan, because there was a time when he used to model for me. I made a jeans brand called Company B. How many among you have tried my products before? Fantastic, you have good taste. But the brand died already. I left the industry about 6 or 7 years ago. That is the reason why I wear jeans all the time. Of all the speakers, I think I was the first speaker who ever dared wear jeans and then wear a coat. Now all the other speakers are imitating me. Wala silang karapatan. Wala silang factory. Ang kalaban ko nung araw, 2 brand lang na matindi, puro multinational. Let me test you on your business history. What were the top jeans brands? Levi's. Sino kalaban ng Levi's? Yun. Tama. Yung sumagot ng Wrangler, kabatch ko yan eh. Kabatch ko. Yan. Darating ang araw, hindi na brands ang kalaban ko. Ang kalaban ko, bansa. At hindi lang yan, I never realized one day all roads lead to 168. Tutuban Divisoria. Pati Baguio kalaban ko. Ang tawag dyan, ukay-ukay. Everything changes. I spoke in front of 1,600 senior executives of the top telephone company in our country. The chairman was right in the middle. I said, last December 31 was the first time in my life when I received more Happy New Year, Francis, from Facebook rather than SMS. And every single message and greeting I got from Facebook is one revenue taken away from SMS. Make sense? Kaya pati sila tinatamaan na rin eh. They now have to think of ideas like gaming na lang, entertainment, TV, pad, so forth and so on. Haven't you noticed? Unlimited texting is now part of the plan. Did you notice that? And so is unlimited calls. And so is unlimited rice. Sony Walkman is dead. Sinong pumatay? iPod. Remington, Underwood, Smith Corona are dead. What are they? Typewriters buried deep in the graveyards of government agencies. But I've got news for you. Some things continue to change, some things should not change. Values should never change. Because if values change, they're not values at all. Today we have a problem. We want to change values by changing the meaning of words. Words are powerful. You change the meaning of words, you change the meaning of life. That's why many young people today are so confused. My job today is to remind you and bring you back to what is true. Today people are so confused, grabe. They change the meaning of words. Today, adultery is called an affair. An illegitimately born child is now called a love child. Pati Bill love handles. Today, heaven is the name of a motel. Grace is the name of a GRO. Charity is sweepstakes, hope is cigarette, trust is condom. Those billboard commercials being modeled by a man who doesn't necessarily portray faithfulness is giving you a stupid message. Safety is not in condoms. What is the best thing to wear for safe sex? A wedding ring. Stupid. Yan ang mga values na kinukuha sa Amerika, tinuturo ngayon sa mga kabataan natin. Ang hirap na nga ng buhay natin, papasok pa sila sa mga walang kakwenta-kwentang bagay na. Thomas Jefferson said this very beautifully. In terms of fad and fashion, swim with the tide. In terms of values, be solid as a rock. You let your solidity of rock swim like the tide, you're in trouble. We cannot afford that. Hayaan mo na yung Amerika masira kasi mayaman na sila. Tayo, mahirap tayo. We can't afford that garbage. Kaya ngayon, iwasan nyo ha. There are many stupid speakers giving stupid seminars all over the place. They are even invoking my name and name dropping me. They tell you, just close your eyes, visualize, and the universe will configure itself. And then you will be able to attract the ancient secret of stupidity, not success. Walang shortcut sa process. Ano ka ba? Kaya yung utak natin, laging utak loto, laging utak sweepstakes. Delikado tayo dyan. Tiyaga. Everything involves a process. That's why your perspective now defines where you are. Words are powerful. Today, some people accuse me, Francis, napaka-old-fashioned mo naman. You want to talk about honesty? Depende naman yung honesty sa sitwasyon, di ba? Honesty is relative. Sabi ko, when is honesty relative? I've been in business for so long, wala pa akong kilalang negosyante who is willing to hire an accountant who is relatively honest. When I travel by myself alone, pag uwi ko sa bahay, my wife will now say, "Sweetheart, have you been relatively faithful?" Duh. Don't buy the garbage that people are selling you, especially in TV. One thing I want to share with you now is this. Knowledge today is greatly depreciated. Knowledge today is greatly depreciated. Let me explain. Study history. There was a time when those who have exclusive control and monopoly over information and knowledge, they ruled the world. Government agencies, they rule the world. Educational institutions, they rule the world. Sila lang ang may impormasyon eh. Churches, they rule the world. Do you know that in history, the Bible was not made available to lay people? That's why anywhere you go, it is the church that is the center of the community, and everybody built around it and lived around it so that they commune every Sunday to listen to fresh information coming from the pulpit. Are you tracking me? Today, knowledge is democratized. Anybody who has a forefinger, a laptop, and Wi-Fi can enter any library in the world. Ito ang problema ko. Kung kailan sagana na tayo sa knowledge, why do knowledgeable people do stupid things? Today, when I look at the camera and I see a pretty girl standing beside a hunk, alam mo yung type, all apps, no face. Alam mo yun? And then the girl looks straight at the camera and she says, for me, the best way to conserve water is to share the shower with him. That's stupid, isn't it? Magaling naman sa English, knowledgeable, pero bobo. You know what she has just done? She has just declared to the whole world what her value and price is, and it ain't high. Today, when I look at the camera, and then when I look at the TV, and I see a beautiful girl looking straight at the camera, I say, what happens in Boracay stays in Boracay. That's another stupid statement. In the first place, it's not original. That is a copy from Las Vegas slogan. And number two, what happens in Boracay cannot stay in Boracay. It's going to stay fixated in the seat of her soul consciousness. You will not be able to erase that. Isn't that dumb? That's the reason why your knowledge alone will not help you. There's a difference between knowledge and wisdom. Knowledge is the accumulation of bytes and information and data that you store in your brains. Wisdom is the right use or even the non-use of such information. Are you following me now? Raise up your left hand. You're getting too serious. I don't like that. Tap the shoulder person to your left. Look at that person and say, don't just be knowledgeable, be wise. Raise up your right hand. Tap the shoulder person to your right. Look at that person and say, speak for yourself. My wife and I were very, very strict. We are very conservative. That's why our children appreciate us now. My kids are no longer kids. My eldest, he's 29 years old. Daytime, he is a digital marketing officer for a well-known company in Manila. In the evening, he is a very, very respected professional drummer for a band that is getting to be very, very famous. Yes, that's what he tells me. Their band is the only Filipino band that was featured in Times Magazine 5 weeks ago. The name of the band, they're into indie rock. The name of the band is Taken by Cars. My daughters are 24 and 20. You know, my daughters, we were strict with them because we know that any choice brings in circumstances. Kaya kahit bata pa yan, hindi pinapayagan ng mami nila na naka-sexy clothes yan. Kasi yung bata magandang tignan, cute, di ba? Sexy. Ang pag lumaki yan, kerengking yan. Hey ladies, listen to me. You can be respectable without exposing yourself. you will always attract what you are. If you are serious, if you are mature, if you are hardworking, and you are faithful in what you do, you will attract those who are serious, hardworking, and faithful. If you are a flirt, you will attract a sex maniac. It's as simple as that. Tama ba? Tama? Eh, ang problema sa mga babae ngayon, ang hinahanap nila yung cute. Ba't ka maghahanap ng cute? Karamihan sa mga lalaking gwapo kilala ko, immature. Alam kasi nila, gwapo sila, ginagamit nila panloko. Anong dapat hanapin sa lalaki? Number one, what? God-fearing. Number two, masipag. Number three, responsible. Number four, yung pangit. Wala ka ng karibal. Kasi, yung mga God-fearing, na responsible, na honest, na mga gwapo katulad namin ni Tito, wala na, taken na kami. Each and every day of our lives, we gotta ask ourselves this question today: how can be a better version today compared to the version I had yesterday? Ang tawag ko dyan, you have to level up every day. I was with you 2 years ago. How many among you were with me 2 years ago? Taas ang kamay. So kukunti na lang pala. Most of them are not. Okay. If you have been with me here 2 years ago, did you like my presentation? Yeah. Did you notice I'm better now? Problem is, I should have charged higher. But this is for free. Ngayon ko lang naintindihan. Sino sa inyo ay kasama ko for the first time today? Taas ang kamay. Okay. From here on, I'm gonna shift back to my favorite topic. Is that okay with you? How much more time do I have? Ang tawag ko dyan, exploitation of labor. How many among you are graduating this year? Taas kamay. Okay. How many among you are graduating next year? Taas kamay. How many among you never intend to graduate at all? Will you agree with me if I say the happiest moments in a person's life happens to be high school moments? Will you agree with me if I say chances are right after high school you don't get to see your buddies for many years? That's why the moment I accepted the invitation for me to attend our high school reunion batch, 73. Grabe. I never realized I've grown this old until 2 Septembers ago when I was giving a public seminar in SMX. We had about 1,600 people who came. By the way, the prices were not cheap. The prices ranges from about 6,000 to 8,500. During the break, one pretty girl working for the HR department of a multinational lumapit sa akin, sabi sa akin, Sir Francis, actually this is not my first time to get to know you. Sabi ko, is that right? When was the first time? Sabi niya, that was when my mom gave me your first book. Oh, when was this? Sabi niya, when I was 10 years old. Shut up! I said. And then last November, a very elegant, beautiful ladies, you know the work, signature all over, Manolo Blahnik down there, Birkin back up there, lumapit sa akin, sabi sa akin, Francis, you gotta know this, you are the favorite of my parents. I wasn't excited, she's 42 years old. And then, greeting, Francis, you've been inspiring me ever since I was 17 and now I'm 42. Sarap pa tayo ng mga ngunit, ang taong nag-aaral ay hindi tumatanda. Do you agree? Raise up your right hand. Clap the shoulder. person to your right, look at that person and say, mukhang hindi ka tumatanda. Isa ganun. Tap the shoulder, person to your left, look at that person and say, wag kang sinungaling.
Watch. The
moment I entered
Manila Hotel, I was so shocked. I mean, these were guys I haven't seen for a good many years. I could not recognize them. Our former beauty queens, they're no longer beauties. Yung mga Prince Charming namin nung araw, many of them have become Cinderellas.
yung mga crush ng bayan namin nung
Now,
araw,
many of them have become under hair and overweight. I was the best good-looking guy in the place. Pumayag na kayo, libre to eh. And then when I jumped from one table to another table trying to pick up bits and pieces of their conversations, listen, this was what I was able to listen from them and hear from them. I got to change their identity, obviously. Pare, naalala mo si Johnny tsaka si Susan? Sino sila? Yun yung love team natin nung araw. O, kumusta? Alam mo, nagkatuluyan sila. Talaga? Kinasal nga eh. O, kumusta na sila ngayon? Separated na sila ngayon. You hear stories like si Becky, remember? Sinong Becky? Yun yung beauty natin, di ba? Muse ng varsity team natin. O, kumusta na siya? Single mom siya ngayon eh. And then you hear stories like, pare, si Alfred, pare, good, bad news. Iwasan mo yan, pare. Bakit? Maraming nilokong kabats natin, satsat sa utang, hinahabol ng bangko. And then the typical story went like this. Si Tino, remember? Sino si Tino? And then everybody exploded simultaneously with laughter. And then si Tino, yun yung pinakabobo sa klase natin. Kumusta na siya ngayon? Milyonaryo na siya ngayon. Hey guys, wait. Listen. This is the greatest learning experience I had today. You see, guys, one thing you have to learn in life is this. When unusual events happen, take time, absorb, observe. Those are wonderful, priceless life lessons. Itong natutunan ko yung araw na yan. Listen to me carefully. These people that I have not seen for many years of my life, these people today are the products of the choices they make from day to day. Ladies and gentlemen, the choices you choose, the words you say, the thoughts you think, the decisions you take, the actions you make will form the kind of life you're going to have tomorrow. So my question now is, what are you doing with your time today? Singapore, walang natural resources. Today is the benchmark of Asian education. Bakit? Pumunta ako, pinag-aralan ko. You know what I discovered? Ang tunay na hinahangang estudyante sa Singapore, yung mga maraming dalang libro, yun yung hero nila. Dito sa atin, pinagtatawanan na nerd. Wala namang laman. What's this now? If I ask the typical studentry in our country today, what are your objectives in your current study? Ang sagot sa akin pare-pareho, para pumasa. Ladies and gentlemen, if passing the course is your objective, you have already failed. Because your Asian neighbor's objective is not to pass, but to excel. Next question. How many among you have ever traveled abroad? Taas ang kamay. Where? Lady in black. Saan? Where have you been? Okay. You know what? For the life of me, I don't understand why Filipinos would ambition to travel to Hong Kong. What's the big deal with Hong Kong? Disneyland? What's the big deal in Disneyland? You want to go to Hong Kong, go to Disneyland and listen to Mickey Mouse talk to you in Cantonese? If there's one place I would highly encourage you to go, you got to go to India. Would you like to know why? Because after visiting India, the moment you come back, you will learn to love your country more. I have not seen poor poorer than those I have seen in India. But there is a growing mass of middle class that is enriching themselves now. Hey, before Lehman Brothers declared official bankruptcy late 2008, out of the top 10 richest men in the world, 4 of them are Indians, none Filipino. Grabe, yung mahirap doon, talagang mahirap. Yung squatters natin dito, malilinis pa yung bubong doon sa kanilang kapal ng alikabok. Yung payat sa kanila, talagang payat. Yung waistline, mga 12. Alam mo yun? That's an exaggeration, of course. Yung mga mahihirap sa Pilipinas, matataba. Napanood mo sa TV, kami mga mahihirap, matataba niya. Dito sa Pilipinas, yung mga kabataan pumupunta sa gym, nag-exercise, nagpapalaki ng abs. Yung nakita ko doon, nalalaki ng ribs, hindi ko alam kung ano exercise ang ginagawa nila. Hey, quick. I stayed in the house of my friend Prakesh, who has a lovely, beautiful 16-year-old daughter. Don't forget, India mass produces beauty queens, don't they? So ang tanong ko agad sa kanya, what are your plans in life, sweetheart? Without even batting an eyelash, she looked at me and then she said, my plan is to finish high school with a PhD. Finish education with a PhD. Yan ang normal na aspirations nila. Kasi pag nag-hit sila ng PhD, sumablay, at least may masteral. That's the reason why India today mass produces the most number of doctorate degree holders and master's degree holders. 10 taon ko na sinisigaw to, hindi ako pinapansin. Sabi ko sa ating bansa nung araw, the day will come if we don't shape up, we're gonna be working for them. That day has come. When I deal business with my clients, former country manager na Nestle, Indian, current country manager na Dusit Hotel, Indian, current country manager ng Kraft, Indian, top officials of Pepsi, Indian, puro mga Indians. Why? We have never been serious with our studies. Gusto lang natin pumasa. And then I look at her and I said, hey, you're so pretty. And napakute siya. Thank you, sir. Sabi ko, are there a lot of boys running around in circle wanting to get a piece of you? And she says, yes, sir. So, do you have a boyfriend? No, sir. Why not? Because my mother has not yet chosen. Huh? You mean to say your mother will choose your boyfriend for you? She says, of course not, sir. But based from those whom I have selected, my mother will make the final choice. Anong magigets nating lesson doon? Masunurin sila sa kanilang magulang. Do you get it? Ang Pinoy ibang klase.
Mami mo lang po hirap sa'yo sa mahal ko siya.
Your perspective determines your outcome. The second thing I want to share with you, how much more time should I have? 3-0. Sir. Okay lang ha? Okay lang. Okay. Watch this now. The second thing I notice with winners is this. Ang lakas ng control nila sa sarili nila. Listen. You are unique, I am unique. Because we are created by a wonderful designer. Sorry, hindi ako naniniwala na ikaw ay galing sa unggoy. Marami akong kilalang tao mukhang... Anong klaseng hypothesis yan? Dahil may mga tao mukhang unggoy, lahat ng tao galing sa unggoy? How do you explain the fact na marami ang kilalang tao mukhang kabayo? Because you are unique, I am unique. God has an individual plan for you and me that nobody has. You can pluck 2 petals from the same rose, put it under the powerful lenses of the microscope, you will never find 2 identical petals. You can get 2 leaves from the same tree, there are no 2 identical leaves. You can go all over the world, you will never find another one exactly like you. You know why? Because God is merciful. Just to have one of you is more than enough. Aren't you happy?
You don't. Listen.
Aren't you happy? You don't look like the person seated beside you. Sige na, take a look at that face. Thank God for it. So, listen. Eyes here. Watch. If
I know I'm unique, and I know you're unique, and I know God has tailored an
individual custom-made plan for me, and He has done. You? Bakit ako maiinggit sa'yo kung ikaw umaasenso, ako hindi pa? Ngayon, dahil alam ko unique ako, alam ko hindi naman ako ikaw, kung ako naman umaasenso, anong karapatan ko para maging mayabang at mamatahin kita? Doesn't work that way. That's why people who are inggitero, people who are insecure, people who are too emotional to a fault, they do not understand their uniqueness in life. Nakakatuwa panoorin to eh. Now, this is supposed to be part of a seminar, but because I love you guys, I'm gonna share this with you, or else you're gonna pay me high. What's this? Simpleng-simple lang, ha? Ito yung mga mahihirap. Ito ngayon yung mga middle class. Ito ngayon yung mga mayayaman. Pansinin mo yung perspective nila sa pag-iisip, hindi pare-pareho yan. For example, anong class to? Mahirap. What do they talk about? They talk about people all the time. Anong tawag doon?
the bus.
Middle class. What do they talk about all the time? They talk about events and things. Nakita mo na yung bagong iPad ko, pare. Nakita mo na yung bagong kotse ko. What about the rich and the very rich? What do they talk about? They talk about concepts, ideas. Pare, meron akong plano. Ano sa palagay mo? No? Busy. Wala na silang panahon para sa mga tao. Hindi na kailangan pag-usapan yung mga things kasi meron na sila eh. What do you talk about all the time? Yung professors nyo? Iba-iba perspective. Are you getting me? That's why, well, we don't have much time. I'm gonna shift to my favorite subject matter. Sino yung mga estudyante rito? Taas ang kamay. Students. Yeah, okay, now watch. I graduated top in my college. I graduated magna cum laude. I was given the Rector's Awardee in San Sebastian College. There's a special category of award called Golden Stag Award, which I got in 1978. Ang balita ko hanggang ngayon wala pang nakakakuha. Now, I was the class president for our graduating class. I was the editor-in-chief of our school newspaper. I was the president of our management club. I was the vice president of our English club. I was the vice president of our economics club. I was the vice president of our marketing club. Lahat ng club. Nandun ako, pati nightclub. But you got to understand one thing. Bumawi lang ako nung college because when I was in high school, I was It took me 6 years to finish high school. I am not kidding. 6 na taon ko kinuha yung high school. I had a PhD in high school. PhD means passing high school with difficulty. The woman who will become my wife one day, she was first year high school when I was second year high school. When we both became second year high school. I waited for her. Third year, pumasa kami pareho. Fourth year, she graduated, she went to USD. I decided to review all of my subjects in fourth year again. Inulit ko. Bakit? Yabang! Sama ng attitude. Kalaban ko, magulang ko, kalaban ko, professor ko, isa lang ang pinapakinggan ko, barkada ko. Kontrolado nila buhay ko. Bakit mayabang? You won't believe me today, but the truth is, check my record. I used to play varsity basketball at a time when height was not a major consideration. Varsity player, mayabang. Hindi ko naman nila lahat. Hindi naman lahat, mga 90%. Madaling makilala yung varsity player. Paano? Lagi naka-jacket kahit summer. Basta may logo. And so, ang yabang. Baksak! My father is a very gentle old man. I will never forget him one night when he said, Francis, sabi ko, Papa, sabi na, come here. Sabi na, Francis, Papa, sabi na, sit down. Sabi na, Francis, Papa, sabi na, I have given up hope on you. Hindi ko makakalimutan yan. First day of school, take 2, 4th year. Pagpasok ko, doon ako tinablan ng kahihiyan. Because pagpasok ko, sabi ko, ba't ang babata ng kaklase ko dito? Three kinds of people in the world. There are the, everybody do this. Say, winners. And then there are the losers. And then there are the whatever made you lose. Mas mabuti na nga yung loser ka kasi minsan yung loser babangga sa pader pagkatapos mag-U-turn yan sasabihin sa sarili na napakabobo ko talaga. Why did I do those stupid things? And then on the way to recovery pero ang delikado siya yung mga whatevers. That day, I became a loser who got reformed. Sabi ko, grabe, 2 taon ko sinayang. Ang sumakit sa puso ko is the fact na yung mga walang yung pinagkakatiwalaan ko, pumasa. Iniwan ako mga buwisit yan. The school that I went to is a Chinese school named Uno High School, just a few blocks away from the famous Chiang Kai-shek College. After endless summers, summer ko na summer. Summer here, summer there. Summer everywhere. Hanggang ngayon, may trauma pa ako. Grabe. Kaya pag nasa mall ako, umiiwas ako sa mga tindahan ng DVD. Baka mamaya makakita ko yung DVD na ang title, I Know What You Did Last Summer. Parang kinakausap. Ano kaya na... Di ba may part 2 pa yan? I still know what you did. Paano kaya nalaman? Nag-summer ulit ako. Akala nyo ako lang problema. Yung mga high school buddies ko, naka-problema rin. A couple of years ago, one of them talked to me and said, pare, ang yabang mo na ngayon. Sabi ko, anong kasalanan ko sa'yo? Sabi ko, kung nasa radyo ka na, nasa dyaryo ka na, nasa TV ka, sabi ko, anong kasalanan ko sa'yo? Eh, ba't di ka umate ng reunion? Eh, sabi ko, wala naman nag-invite ka. O, pare, ini-invite kita ngayon. O, anong day? Ba't ka tumatawa? Wala pa tayo sa punchline yan. Fast forward and thinking. Ikaw. Ulit. Ta. Kumalas. Hindi ko mati. Sabi, ay wala man nag-invite. O, attend ka. O, sige, kailan? Tinignan ko yung calendar. Free ka ba? O, free. Attend ka. O, sige. Teka muna. Sabi na, sandali. Anong batch ka ba? Depende. Ang dami kong batch. Ngayon medyo nakikilala na ako. Pinag-aawayan ako. Alam mo si Francisco, kabats namin yan. Imposible kabats namin yan. Kabats sila lahat. Alam mo ba ang problema ko ngayon? Ha? You know, my problem, my wife knows my struggle these days. Every day naglalakad ako sa airport, may lalapit sa akin. Excuse me. Sabi ko, yes. Aren't you Francisco? Sabi ko, been for a long time. Sabi ko, napapanood kita lagi. Oh, thank you. Sa unang hirit ka ko. Umagang kailan. Yung iba naman, I read you all the time sa Daily Inquirer, Philippine Star,
First day of school in college, San Sebastian College, bago ako pumasok doon sa door na yan, nagdrama muna ako ng sarili. I talk to myself. The most important conversation that took place. Do you talk to yourself, by the way? Ah, you do? Why? Yeah, that's okay, that's okay. That's okay. You can talk to yourself. However, if you hear yourself say, huh, you got a problem. So first day of school, pagpasok ko, sabi ko, Francis, you've got two choices. Magpakawala ka na ng todo-todo, maintain your attitude, total college na to, nobody would know. Or magpakatino ka naman, nagsayang ka na ng oras eh. Sometimes it takes an embarrassing moment for you to understand that you've just wasted time, you've just made some dumb and stupid decisions. But that's okay. As long as you know how to make a U-turn. February 14 is one of the most stupid days in our calendar. Guess how many girls will lose their virginity on that day? If you're listening to me right now and you feel uncomfortable, I've got news for you. God is a God of second chances. Kung nakita ko yung stupidity ng buhay ko noon, naawa sa akin ng Diyos. I never recited in high school. I never thought I could speak in front of the public. Today, I just realized the reason why I went through those experiences is that I can stand right here in front of you and encourage you to do better, because don't give up hope. Perspective is very important. You should live your life responsibly. You gotta be in control. But I can live without him. Stupid, you can't. Try it. Try it, you can. Stupid. If you go into business, if you go into the workplace, wherever you are, you gotta be challenged. I have been on the receiving end of some malicious people fabricating stories, putting me on tabloid, attacking my family. They don't like me. I don't care. I don't like them too. But I just got to do what I got to do. But I have to be in control and understand your life is unique. My life is unique. God has a special plan for you and me. We got to pursue that plan and then make it work. Our country is in need of productive citizens. Hindi na natin kailangan yung mga taong mag-isip sweetik. Yung bang, look at the following perspective na nakakasira sa buhay natin. Ah, nagtatrabaho ka na? Oo, talaga? Kailan? Next month, saan? Gobyerno? Gobyerno? Customs, pare. Customs. Ah, magtatrabaho ka na? Oo, pare. Saan? Sa private company? Purchasing, pare. Purchasing. Nandiyan ka na sa pwesto, hindi ka pa kumakana. That's why our country has remained poor. Because they want the success without going through the process. You got it now? There is no profit without investment. There is no glory without the sacrifice. There is no resurrection without the crucifixion. Everything is a process. I don't even know when I'm going to be back with you again. Maybe this is the first and the last time we're going to meet. But if there's just one thing I want you to bring with you, it is this. God's mercies are just so abundant. Tap into that. Mistakes done yesterday ended last night. Today is a brand new beginning. You're struggling with your grades, so what? Put in a lot more intensity and seriousness in what you're doing. Hindi ako marunong magsalita. Magsalita ka. Some people say, Francis, ang galing-galing mo magsalita. Were you born with that talent? Are you crazy? Itong tanda ko, wala pa akong nakitang sangkol. French, Romance, countryman. Pero mahina ako rito. Good. Now that we've established the fact mahina ka, don't work on it. Pero Francis, you just don't know me. Huh? No, you don't know you.
you better know more about yourself and what your future and potential lies. Because today is a gift. Live every moment to the full. Maraming salamat.